Welcome to Stories. How my family's support turned me into a woman. Liam had always been the quiet one in his family. While his cousins were bold, expressive, and seemed to live life without fear, Liam kept his true self hidden. His fascination with feminine clothes, makeup, and the idea of presenting as female had been a secret he had carried with him since childhood. For years, he had carefully concealed this part of himself, never daring to share it with anyone, not even his closest family. But that was all about to change during the family reunion at a lakeside cabin, where a single night would spark the beginning of a complete transformation. It was late at night, the house quiet as everyone else had gone to bed. Liam, thinking the coast was clear, couldn't resist the urge any longer. He snuck into his cousin Maya's room and found a flowy dress hanging in her closet. The feeling of the soft fabric against his skin, the way the dress moved with him as he spun in front of the mirror. It was liberating, even if only for a moment. But just as he was lost in his fantasy, the door creaked open. His cousin Maya stood there, wide-eyed but smiling. "Liam?" she asked, her voice filled with curiosity rather than judgment. Liam froze, his heart racing. This was it, the moment he had always feared. But Maya surprised him. Instead of teasing him or running to tell the others, she stepped closer, looking him up and down. "That dress actually looks amazing on you," she said. "Is this something you do often?" Liam, still in shock, stammered, I've always wanted to. I just never thought anyone would understand." Maya's face softened. "Well, maybe it's time you show the real you. I mean, why not? You've got nothing to be ashamed of." Before Liam could even protest, Maya had already started plotting. She wasn't just going to keep this between the two of them. She wanted to take things further. And soon enough, her excitement was contagious. She called in their cousins Emily and Sophie, who were equally enthusiastic about the idea of helping Liam embrace his true self. "Let's make you into Jessica," Maya suggested. "Full transformation. Makeup, hair, the works." The next morning, the cousins gathered in Maya's room with an arsenal of makeup, wigs, and outfits. Liam sat in front of the vanity, feeling both anxious and excited. The idea of becoming Jessica, even temporarily, felt like stepping into a dream he had always longed for but never thought possible. Emily started with his makeup, applying foundation and contouring his face to create a more feminine appearance. Sophie worked on his eyes, blending shadows and adding eyeliner that made his blue eyes pop. Finally, Maya handed him a brown wig with soft waves that framed his face perfectly. When they were done, now Jessica, looked at his reflection in awe. He didn't recognize himself. Gone was the reserved, quiet boy who had always stood in the background. In his place was a confident, beautiful woman. "You're stunning," Maya said, admiring their work. "Jessica, you're ready for the big reveal." Jessica smiled nervously, the weight of the transformation sinking in. She had always dreamed of this moment, but the thought of stepping out in front of her entire family as a woman made her stomach twist with anxiety. What would they think? How would they react? But with the support of her cousins, Jessica felt a surge of confidence. They had worked so hard to help her, and for the first time, she felt like she was truly herself. Later that afternoon, the family gathered for the final event of the weekend, a big barbecue by the lake. The smell of grilling food filled the air, and everyone was laughing and chatting. Jessica stood at the door, her heart pounding in her chest. This was it. Maya squeezed her hand. "You've got this. We're all here with you." Taking a deep breath, Jessica stepped outside. At first, the chatter died down as her family turned to look at her. The silence was deafening, and Jessica's heart sank, fearing the worst. But then her aunt smiled warmly. "Jessica, is that you?" she asked, her voice filled with admiration. Jessica nodded, trying to hold back tears. "You look absolutely beautiful," her aunt said, walking over to hug her. "You should be proud of yourself." Slowly, other family members began to approach her, offering compliments and words of support. Jessica felt an overwhelming sense of relief. The fear and anxiety that had gripped her for so long melted away. Her family wasn't judging her. They were accepting her, embracing her for who she truly was. As the afternoon turned to evening, Jessica mingled with her family, no longer hiding behind a mask of who she thought she had to be. For the first time in her life, she felt free. The love and support of her cousins, combined with the acceptance from her family, had given her the courage to embrace this side of herself fully. Sitting by the fire later that night, Maya wrapped an arm around Jessica's shoulders. "How do you feel?" she asked. Jessica smiled, tears glistening in her eyes. "I feel, well, I'm finally me." "You're not just pretending anymore," Maya said softly. "You're living your truth." After the reunion, Jessica couldn't go back to being Liam full-time. The experience had changed her. She started dressing as Jessica more frequently, with her cousin's help, and exploring her identity in deeper ways. But as the weeks went on, she realized that the physical transformation had only scratched the surface. Jessica wanted more. She wanted her body to align with her inner identity. With the encouragement of her cousins and after a lot of research, Jessica made the decision to begin hormone replacement therapy, HRT. She found a gender therapist who helped her through the process, explaining what to expect and offering guidance as she navigated this new path. The first few months of HRT brought gradual changes. Her skin became softer, her facial features more delicate. She began to develop breasts and her body started to take on a more feminine shape. Every day, Jessica felt more at home in her body, more aligned with the person she had always known herself to be. A year after that life-changing family reunion, Jessica stood in front of the mirror once again, but this time the reflection she saw wasn't a temporary illusion created with makeup and clothes. It was her, fully and truly herself. Her body had changed, her confidence had grown, and the love she had received from her family and friends had helped her flourish. At the next family reunion, Jessica returned not as a shy, uncertain boy, but as a woman who had embraced her identity fully. Her family greeted her with open arms, celebrating her courage and transformation. As the reunion came to an end, Jessica found herself sitting with her cousins once again, reflecting on how far she had come. "I'm proud of you," Maya said. "You've come so far." Jessica smiled, feeling a deep sense of gratitude for the people who had supported her on her journey. "I couldn't have done it without all of you." "Well, we'll always be here," Maya said, squeezing her hand. "Your family." Jessica nodded, feeling a sense of peace she had never known before. She had taken a leap of faith, faced her fears, and transformed not just her appearance, but her entire life. The journey to becoming Jessica wasn't easy, but it was worth it. What started as a single night of curiosity and courage led to a complete transformation, both physically and emotionally. With the support of her family, especially her cousins, Jessica had found the strength to live authentically as the woman she had always been inside. Her story wasn't just about wearing a dress or makeup, it was about self-acceptance, bravery, and the power of love and support in finding one's true identity. Jessica's transformation was a journey of discovery, and though there were challenges along the way, she knew that she had become the person she was always meant to be. Thank you for joining us on another captivating journey through those stories. Remember to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a tale. Until next time, keep exploring, keep imagining, and keep believing in the magic of storytelling. See you in the next chapter.